In the news this week, mismatched migrant skills while Australia is missing out on a boost to the economy.
More youth jobs. The state government talks up job creation as it cuts payroll tax for small businesses.
Law changes protect gift card consumers from financial loss and exploitation.
And preparation begins as Perth Festival hopes to show off WA's artistic side in 2020. Plus a discussion on payroll tax cuts and youth employment on Western Perspective.
That's coming up.
This is the Evening News with Ivan Leung and Danielle Staniskov.
Good evening. A new report released by the Bank West Curtin Economic Centre details possible economic growth if skilled migrants are used to their full potential. Reporter Taylor Hanna spoke with political expert Ian Cook about the migrants' boost to the Australian economy and how to prolong its positive impacts.
This report outlines the important contributions immigrants make to Australia's social and economic development and the potential for growth in the future. If the skills mismatch is eliminated and skilled migrants are working better suited roles in line with their qualifications, a $6 billion boost could be delivered to the economy.
We're wasting a lot of potential with respect to migrants who come in with qualifications that are legitimate, that deserve recognition. They don't get recognition, so they're forced into sort of lower skilled jobs where they don't get to use the training they've got. Dr. Ian Cook believes we need to fill skill gaps with not only skilled migrants, but also help Australians and in turn boost the economy by an additional $2 billion. I think it's really important that this not be just a scheme for migrants, that we're looking to try to utilise everybody's skills as much and as well as we can. But the question begs, are there enough job opportunities here in WA to support this projected growth? I think this is going to be the other side of it, that while we're talking about them taking up jobs, the question is are we going to have jobs, these sorts of jobs going forward? Taylor Hanna, WAMN News.
WA's youth is set to become big winners in the state's employment market, with job creation expected following payroll tax cuts for small businesses. The state government claims it's thanks to WA's improved budget, but not everyone is convinced it means more jobs. Nelson Liu reports.
Business owner Glenn Pope is excited to now be able to expand his small business. He hopes his cafe Lot 60 can grow, with a chance to hire more young Western Australians thanks to payroll tax changes.
It gives me more money to reinvest in my business. It gives me confidence to employ more people.
WA will now increase its current payroll tax threshold for around 12,000 small businesses from $850,000 to $1 million over the next 2 years. It aims to create more jobs, especially for youth, while encouraging owner investment.
We want to provide relief to businesses exactly like this so they can get on and employ people.
The change is attributed to WA's strong financial improvement.
We've been able to do a range of initiatives.
The state government expects its payroll tax changes to boost small businesses, but there's speculation that it may not make a difference.
It all depends on how much the businesses are saving, and are businesses willing to spend the money to hire new additional staff.
But for owners like Glenn, it's a chance to develop his business.
I'm looking at a fifth one. This has given me a bit more encouragement to do so.
Nelson Liu, WAMN News.
As WA's visitor numbers continue to grow to more than ever before, the state government will begin a trial of multilingual road signs to promote safe driving for international visitors. Symbolic keep left arrow signs will be trialled with German, French and simplified Mandarin spellings. Directional arrows will also be painted intermittently to remind drivers to keep left. Tourism Minister Paul Papalia said the signs are a great idea.
Essentially, they're reminders. Visitors, and I've travelled the world, driven in places where you drive on the right-hand side of the road, it is very easy to lapse into your automatic process of driving where you normally do at home. It's good to have reminders.
Mobile phones would be a big no-go for students, with the state government implementing a ban in WA public schools next year. In an effort to reduce student distraction in the classroom, banned devices will include phones, smartwatches, tablets and headphones, unless instructed by a teacher. Premier Mark McGowan said the policy was for the benefit for students, with hopes to reduce cyberbullying in school. Meanwhile, exemptions will be made for students with special circumstances, including monitoring a health condition.
Gift card buyers and owners are now better protected by law changes guarding them from financial loss and business exploitation. From Friday, gift cards receive a minimum 3-year expiry, while also safeguarding consumers from unauthorised charges from business gift cards that have resulted in $70 million in losses each year. But Consumer Protection says they're now safer and there's more time to use them.
Best thing to do as soon as you get given a gift card is to use it before you forget about it. Even though we do have the 3-year expiry period, it could be lost or stolen in that time, so best thing is to use it as soon as you get it.
The impeachment of US President Donald Trump has been pushed ahead by the Democrats, with Congress beginning an investigation into Mr. Trump. For the first time, legislators have voted to begin the impeachment process with 232 votes versus 196 votes on Halloween. Democratic House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says democracy is at stake and the open hearings will let the public see the facts for themselves. In a statement, White House Press Secretary Stephanie Grisham accuses the Democrats as fundamentally un-American and called the impeachment move as a sham. Britain will be heading to the polls on the 12th of December after Prime Minister Boris Johnson failed to carry out Brexit this week. The deadline has been extended to 31st of January next year, with hopes the election will break the deadlock in Parliament. Although the Conservatives are well ahead in the opinion polls against the Labour Party, Mr Johnson will need to win a majority to avoid further Brexit problems. Since the EU referendum in 2016, Brexit has been delayed 3 times, with calls for a second referendum rejected by the government.
A new festival coming to Perth in 2020 will light up the city, inspired by the moment in 1962 when US astronaut John Glenn orbited the Earth and Perth residents left on their lights and shone torches into the sky to light his path. The Perth Concert Hall will be home to music, dancing, art, food and drinks, as well as celebration run month-long from February to March. If you're interested, go to perthfestival.com.au for bookings and information. Now on to a proper farewell.
Of course.
440 stories for 2.5 years, and that's just written.
Yep.
Not including piece to cameras and all the others. How much counts? You haven't counted, haven't you?
No, too many to count.
And Danny, what do you want to...
It's been a pleasure working with you, Taylor.
Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it.
All the best for your future, and I believe a lot of audience do owe you, so I'll let you say a proper goodbye.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. If a recession does hit, Mr. Go believes there is currently no clear definition over what's legal or illegal around this issue. The City of Melville has 35 days to make a response about the report. After trespassing onto a farmer's property and stealing livestock, 6 people have been charged.
When they've withdrawn the bill now, they've now released 4 extra demands, so the issue is...
Well, that's right. By the lane.
With today's headlines.
In the news this week, who's to blame?
The fallout has begun for the Labour Party in the aftermath, with just under 2 weeks to go until the ever-anticipated federal election. As WA apartment prices have decreased by 9%. Details coming up on our website about WA's biggest interchange moving north to south and east to west. We're here in Yagan Square supporting Daffodil Day in support of Pez Council WA. Thank you for watching. Good night.
Take care.